When German and Soviet forces clashed on the Eastern Front, these 5 weapon matchups determined which nation's engineering philosophy would dominate the battlefield. Let's begin. Heavy tanks, the armor giants. Tiger II, the King Tiger, Germany, 1944 to 1945. The Tiger II weighed 69 tons with frontal armor up to 180 mm thick that was virtually impenetrable to any Allied tank gun. Its 88 mm kilowatt K-43L-71 gun could penetrate 200 mm of armor at 1,000 meters, meaning it could destroy any Allied tank at ranges where they couldn't scratch its paint. Only 489 were produced due to Germany's collapsing industrial capacity and the tank's staggering complexity. The Maybach engine struggled to move its massive weight, resulting in chronic mechanical breakdowns, fuel consumption reaching 2 liters per kilometer, and mobility so poor that tactical retreats often required abandoning the tanks. IS-2, Stalin's Hammer, USSR, 1943 to 1945. The Soviet IS-2 took a completely different approach. Weighing only 46 tons, 23 tons lighter than the Tiger II, it mounted the devastating 122mm D-25T gun, firing a 25-kilogram shell that could knock out Tigers through sheer concussive force even without full penetration. The IS-2's 120mm frontal armor angled at 60 degrees gave effective protection of 200 to 240mm, nearly matching the Tiger II despite being lighter and cheaper. The crucial difference: Soviets built 3,854 IS-2s versus Germany's 489 Tiger IIS, and the IS-2's simpler design meant it could actually reach the battlefield and fight. In the few direct encounters, the IS-2's superior numbers decided the outcome. Soviet tankers engaged Tiger IIS from multiple angles simultaneously. The IS-2 proved that 8 good tanks beat 1 excellent tank, and that mobility and reliability matter more than maximum armor. Medium tanks, the workhorses. Panther, the apex medium tank, Germany, 1943 to 1945. The Panther combined sloped armor copied from the T-34 with a 75mm kilowatt K-42L-70 gun that could penetrate 150mm of armor at 1,000 meters. Its sloped 80mm frontal armor at 55 degrees gave effective thickness of 140mm, while its gun engaged enemies at 2,000 plus meters. However, the Panther required 55,000 man-hours to build versus 10,000 for a T-34. Its transmission frequently failed, and its gasoline engine caught fire when hit. Only 6,000 Panthers were produced, and 30 to 50% were deadlined for maintenance at any given time. T-34-85, the Democratic tank, USSR, 1944 to 1945. The T-34-85 upgraded the proven T-34 with an 85mm gun and 3-man turret. While the 85mm gun couldn't match the Panther's penetration, requiring closer ranges for kills, it compensated with a larger explosive shell. The T-34-85's 45mm sloped armor was inferior to the Panther's 80mm, meaning Panthers could kill at 2,000 meters while T-34-85S needed 500 to 1,000 meters. However, Soviets built 48,000 T-34-85S versus 6,000 Panthers. Soviet tankers faced German armor with 8:1 numerical superiority, using massed attacks where some tanks drew fire while others flanked for side shots. The T-34-85's diesel engine was more reliable, less prone to fire, and field repairable with basic tools. The Panther was technically superior, but the T-34-85 won through numbers, reliability, and operational availability, proving that adequate numbers of good enough weapons beat small numbers of excellent weapons. Machine guns, sustained firepower. Milligram 42, Hitler's buzzsaw, Germany, 1942 to 1945. The Milligram 42 fired at 1,200 rounds per minute, twice that of Allied machine guns, creating a continuous tearing sound that Allied soldiers instantly recognized. Its quick barrel change system allowed near-continuous fire, with trained crews changing barrels in under 5 seconds. German squads were built around the Milligram 42, with riflemen existing solely to support it. Single Milligram 42 nests at Normandy held up entire Allied companies for hours. Over 400,000 were produced, and it was so successful that West Germany modernized it as the Milligram 3, still in service today, 80 years later. DP-27, the record player, USSR, 1928 to 1945. The Soviet DP-27, nicknamed the record player for its 47-round Pan magazine, fired only 550 rounds per minute, less than half the milligram 42's rate. Its low rate meant less suppressive effect and constant magazine changes, while milligram 42 gunners fired from belts containing hundreds of rounds. However, the DP-27 weighed 12 kilograms without requiring tripods or separate ammunition carriers, allowing single soldiers to operate it while advancing. Its simplicity, large tolerances and few moving parts meant it functioned in mud, snow, and extreme temperatures where sophisticated weapons jammed. Over 795,000 were manufactured. Soviet doctrine used multiple DP-27s per squad for mobile fire support while advancing rather than establishing fixed suppressive positions. The milligram 42 was superior in every technical specification, but the DP-27 was adequate for Soviet needs. Simple enough for undertrained conscripts, cheap enough for mass production, and reliable enough to function in brutal conditions. The comparison reveals that weapons must match tactical doctrine. The milligram 42 was perfect for German defensive tactics, while the DP-27 was adequate for Soviet offensive mass attacks. Rocket artillery, area devastation. Nebelwerfer, the Moaning Mini, Germany, 1941 to 1945. The German Nebelwerfer's 6-tube launcher fired 158mm rockets to 6,900 meters, with each rocket containing 2.5 kilograms of high explosive. Its distinctive shrieking sound earned it the nickname Moaning Mini and caused panic in Allied troops. However, it was towed rather than truck-mounted, and after firing its 6-rocket salvo, crews needed several minutes to reload while exposed to counter-battery fire. German rocket artillery was produced in limited numbers due to competing industrial priorities. Katyusha, Stalin's organ, USSR, 1941 to 1945. The BM-13 Katyusha mounted 16 launch rails on truck chassis, firing 132mm rockets to 8,500 meters, greater range than the Nebelwerfer, with each rocket carrying 4.9 kilograms of high explosive, nearly twice the Nebelwerfer's payload. The decisive advantage was mobility. It could unleash all 16 rockets in 7 to 10 seconds, then relocate before German counter-battery fire could respond. This hit-and-run capability made Katyushas nearly impossible to suppress. Over 10,000 launches were built versus a few thousand Nebelwerfers. Soviet doctrine employed them in massed formations, firing coordinated salvos that obliterated German positions before attacks. The Katyusha was superior in nearly every category: greater range, larger warheads, better mobility, faster reload, and vastly superior numbers. The Nebelwerfer's marginal technical advantages meant nothing, facing 10:1 numerical disadvantages and an enemy who could fire and disappear before you could respond. Tank destroyers, the ambush hunters. Jagdpanther, the perfect hunter, Germany, 1944 to 1945. The Jagdpanther mounted the Tiger II's 88mm Pak 43/3 L71 gun in the Panther chassis with a low-profile superstructure. With 80mm frontal armor sloped at 55 degrees, giving effective thickness of 140mm, it could engage any Allied tank at 2,000+ meters while remaining invulnerable frontally. Its 88mm gun could penetrate 200mm of armor at 1,000 meters. However, it required 150,000 man-hours to build, suffered chronic mechanical problems, consumed fuel prodigiously, and only 415 were built. The fixed superstructure limited tactical flexibility, requiring rotating the entire vehicle to engage targets outside the gun traverse arc. Su-100, the Tank Hunter, USSR, 1944 to 1945. The Su-100 mounted the 100mm D-10S gun on the T-34 chassis. Its 100mm gun could penetrate 160mm of armor at 1,000 meters, less than the Jagdpanther's 88mm but sufficient to destroy Panthers and Tigers. Weighing 31.6 tons versus the Jagdpanther's 46 tons gave it superior mobility and reliability. Its 75mm frontal armor was inferior to the Jagdpanther's 80mm, putting Soviet crews at disadvantage in long-range engagements. However, 2,335 were built versus 415 Jagdpanthers, and the T-34 base chassis was proven, reliable, and easily maintained. Soviet forces employed Su-100s in groups of 5 to 6 vehicles, meaning any Jagdpanther faced multiple opponents. In direct duels, Jagdpanthers would likely win at long range, but the Su-100's greater numbers, better mobility, and superior reliability meant it was more likely to reach the battlefield, function reliably, and complete its mission. The best tank destroyer is the one that reaches the battle and accomplishes its mission, and by that measure, the Su-100's advantages outweighed the Jagdpanther's superior specifications. Conclusion. These 5 matchups reveal that World War II was won not by the best weapons, but by the best weapons systems, where production capacity, mechanical reliability, and tactical doctrine mattered more than individual technical superiority.